Hi, this is Kim White with the My Sexy Business team. I am here with my co-host,
Coni Meyers from Kick Butt Leadership.
And we are at the Hope to Hope conference. I am super excited about session number 5. And then I know if you're listening and you say, you always say that. I do always say that because I'm always excited. I have really cool friends. Just saying. But I am going to tell a story that she's probably going to be mortified, but I'm going to tell it anyway. Our next guest is not just, I'll just say that, not just a web designer, but she is so brilliant and so underestimated, I feel like, because she understands the online business process. She understands so much more than just, posting a website. And I think that when you hear her talk about some things today, you will understand what I'm saying. Because I didn't realize I was in protest of her title until I introduced her a couple of times in some stuff we were doing as a collaboration. And she was like, hey, I'm a web designer. And I'm like, well, yeah, but that's not really what you are. That's not enough. And so anyway, this princess has been causing problems. I'm just saying. But our next guest is all things amazing. That's what I should say. She is amazing. She is sincerely one of my biz besties. And she has created some magic in my life and in my business that I want to shout from the rooftops what she solved problems for me. I can send her an SOS and she rescues me. She puts on her cape and she flies in and she takes care of stuff. So I want to make sure that you guys get to know one of my best biz besties, Mary Jo Staebler.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. And oh my gosh, that was an amazing intro for me. Oh my gosh. I'm like coming to tears. I'm like, oh, I'm so honored.
You can't cry, it'll run your mascara.
That's right.
Well,
thank you.
I just, this is the thing about small business owners or online business owners in particular. It is very difficult to know all the things that you need to do and be alone and get them all done and actually, do the thing that you're gifted and talented with and actually, convert sales and do your marketing. And there's a whole gamut of things, a whole big, bucket, if you will, of things that we need to know how to do. And we don't. that's the big
bottom line.
And so I'm a huge proponent of if you do not, and I will tell you, I've done things the hard way. This is why I know what I'm talking about. If you don't know how to do something and you know someone who does, and you can work out any kind of a deal with them where you can hire them, whether you can hire them per project, whether you work with them on a trade or a collaboration, there's a million ways to do it. So don't just count yourself out of being able to afford someone as amazing as Mary Jo. But if you spend 12 hours trying to do something that someone else does all day long and knows the process and can do in 3 clicks, I'm just going to give you a big that's foolish. Because the 12 hours should have been spent on what you're good at. So Mary Jo actually is one of the few, I'm going to say very few, who her gift and talent is in the technology arena. It's in the web development. It's in the web designing. It's in the creating and streamlining and doing all things. But I want to point out a huge difference. And I know you want to talk, Mary Jo, and I always talk too much when I'm talking to you. You're so sweet to me. But I think that anyone who's tried to hire someone to do their website even has learned that nobody listens. I have the hardest time with techies because they don't speak princess. I mean, just point blank. And this princess does not speak techie.
And it's funny that you say that because like, well, for me, it's like it comes naturally to try to understand where you're coming up for your business, as well as like seeing any opportunities that you could take on. And so it's like, well, why wouldn't they one understand what you're doing with your business, what understand what your goals are? And so it's for someone just to come like, okay, give me what you want me to do and I'll just do it. I mean, that's not necessarily what I would consider a great relationship to have for your website, because you could be missing opportunities. And that's where I hopefully come into play.
Well, and what you just said is what I'm talking about, the magic that you have, that you can give someone understanding. Because if I'm not a web designer and I'm not doing that all the day long, and I don't understand the whole process, the big picture, I know I need a website because that's what some expert told me I needed. I mean, that's usually where that comes from, is everybody has one, I need one, so I'm going to spend too much money, too much time, too much effort trying to come up with something that actually doesn't work anyway. It's not impactful or effective. Whereas that same time, that same money, that same everything, coming to someone who actually listens. Now, there's a big difference. I'm not saying go out and hire just anybody, because I have done that. But when you come to Mary Jo and she listens, then she can tell you, well, you can do that, but you don't really want to because of this other thing that it impacts. Or you can do this and it makes it better. Or, you know, that part of the brilliance that you have and you bring to the picnic is amazing, because we don't know what we don't know. We think we know a lot, but I'm telling you, we don't know near as much as what we think we know.
And that's what's so amazing. Like, even though you could get out there and get on a service where you can create your own website, there's more to it than just plug and play words and having pages and, you know, putting blog posts up there. There's strategy behind it. There's marketing behind it. There's even a strategy behind the service itself and what it can provide and help you with, and the user experience. There is so much to be done within a website that certainly you can try to do it yourself, and, you know, people can, and they can if they want to, but you're not going to get very far. You're only going to get so far before you realize that what you've created isn't actually getting you anywhere, and it's just taking up your time and taking up your mental energy. And it's like, why bother with that when you could just hire someone to get it all done for you and get it out the door just right?
I can vouch for that.
Oh my goodness. Yes, she can.
Oh my God.
We have struggled over some stuff, you know, with Miss Coni for a while, because well, we won't go into all of it, but there was a mess like created in the beginning because she couldn't find someone who would well, first she had one created by someone who was
My first one I created myself.
okay, because you had one created by someone who didn't have a clue.
No, did not have a clue. So then I did it myself.
And so then she did it herself, and that was not good, because that didn't work in the way that it was supposed to. It wasn't converting the things it needed to. It wasn't, you know, things were not linked right. Things were not going to the right places. It wasn't impacting the right way. And it has been a nightmare for a long time. Like, and it really boils down to, not that she couldn't have paid someone, is she couldn't find anyone to pay that like knew what they were talking about and listened. I mean, she and I have worked, I don't even know how many hours I tried to help her working on the stuff, because it was crazy. It wouldn't even like capture the emails like it was supposed to. And I mean, there was just a whole lot of stuff. But the thing is just developing a website, that's why I don't like your title. that is not you. You are so much bigger and so much more brilliant, and strategy is probably the key word. That you understand the big picture process, and you understand the strategy behind why you need to do this, and you don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, because in the end, having a website out there just to have a website isn't going to get you anywhere. You definitely have to have strategy around what kind of marketing, how you're going to lay out the workflow in terms of how the user goes through a site, and what is your goals for your business. Because if you don't have any goals specifically for your website, it's just going to be a brochure, and and just pretty much a business card for someone to look at. But I mean, you can have it do so much more. And that's what I hope to do. Yeah.
And I think that that's, like I said, because I don't like your title, it just does not encompass enough of what, you know, I feel like what you call yourself is the brochure one, but what you really do is like the entire, you know, huge process and workings and all these things that go together to make this beautiful thing versus just something in a little paper.
It's true. It's true. And that's one thing that I struggle with all the time, because one, people don't know what exactly a web designer does. Everyone has different ideas. And so for a while there, calling myself a designer and developer, because I can do a lot more coding as well as design, that it's a wordful to say I'm a web designer and developer, or web designer, developer, marketer, techie guru, web mistress, all those words. It's like, how do you brand yourself when you have all these possibilities that you can help people with?
Yeah.
I'm still struggling with that.
That makes for a very full business card.
It does, right? A long elevator speech.
Yeah. Well, and that's why we have actually been working on behind the scenes, because I have been determined to find a word that really describes you, like a title that really describes what you do. Because, and like I said in the beginning, I can send you an SOS that something is like not working. And these are things that are from previous. Like, that's the thing, is you're cleaning up some messes for me that are nothing to do with what you created. Had I come to you first, I would have saved thousands of dollars and probably hundreds of hours. And that's not even exaggerating, because by the time you try to do something yourself, and how many sales did you miss because you were trying to do the wrong thing, you know? And then you have to learn how to do WordPress, because that's what your website is. So now you've got to, you know, concentrate on some classes so that you can understand the WordPress. And then you got to come over here and you got to do some classes about the email and opt-ins. And, you know, I think the language is one of the big barriers for a lot of just everyday normal princesses or just normal everyday business owners, even if they're online and doing business online. We need something effective. Like, creative is important, but only if it's effective. And I think that's what you bring to the table, is such an effective way to do things, such an impactful way to create the vision actually with technology.
Yeah. And when you say princess speak, I totally get that, because in essence, it's a way to put across exactly what it is, versus trying to elaborate with really long words or very technical words, or just trying to almost like confuse a person so they think that, oh, well, that's really above me. I don't understand it, so I must pay either lots of money, or I must buy your system or your course, when in essence, it's just another web page. Let's just say it that way. And so it's amazing how people, they can trick you, or not necessarily trick you, but try to sell you by trying to make it so high end, so obscure that it's like, gosh, you know, since I don't know it, I shall buy from you, and so you'll help me to figure this out. In the end, they've already taken 1 or 2 or 3 classes, and they already know it. They just need to implement it. And that's the part, is that the hurdle of like either taking the time or really sitting down and taking the course and just getting the job done. And that's one thing I love to do. It's help people understand what they're trying, what their goals are, and how to convey that into technology, and what will actually help them get what they need and done sooner than later. Because in the essence, if you spend a long time taking these courses and try to figure it out, it's just like you could have taken one course, figured it out, and just try to implement it, just trying to do it and getting it done so you actually get some results. And then you just, you know, change it up from there. You go on further and say, okay, well, that didn't work for me. I wonder why. Let's change these things and try it again, versus being in that stuck of learning and trying to figure out that silver bullet, that magic pill, something that's going to like instantly make me a success. Yeah.
Well, I like the fact that you understand like your gift, and you understand what your business does, in the fact that you're not out to teach people how to do it themselves. that's not your flavor. Your flavor is to ask them the right questions, listen to their answers.
Oh, I'm getting a little stuck here. I don't hear anyone. Am I stuck? Hello?
Chris?
Oh, is that better? I can hear you now.
Oh, did you go away? I'm sorry. We're just talking away. I'll say it again because I want to make sure you answer what I was talking about. Your flavor is not of someone to work with. It's not someone who wants to do it themselves, and they want you to tell them how to do it themselves. Your flavor is someone who tells you what they want, helps you create that in a working relationship so that you can do the brilliant behind the scenes technology and marry that to what they really are about, like their vision or their brand, and make it be able to do magic is what I think of, because it works right, and it's actually another piece of your marketing tool, just the whole process you understand and can give them, wisdom and instructions. I like another part that you do too is, if someone comes to you and they need something, they don't have to come with $10,000 to get everything they need. They can come and have a place to start. And maybe they can't afford everything they need right now, but they can get started.
Yes. Yeah. And that's one thing I definitely try to get across, because trying to tackle and make this one big website, you might, because a website does take some time to build. I'm not saying it takes a long time, but it does take some time. And if you have a whole bunch of features you're trying to put into it, that, first tackle the first parts and see how well that works, because in the end, you might, switch gears and realize that you actually want to go a different route versus completing the whole package and getting it all done. So, put it into stages, I think, helps people realize what they really want in their site and to get the most out of it.
Well, I can tell you, for me, when I had to write out what I wanted, like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, just kind of break it down, it actually brought clarity to me what I wanted it actually to do. Not just what I wanted it to look like, but what did I want it to do? Because it's not something that is just, in old days, they would hang a shingle out in front of a building. That was their
advertising.
That was their marketing. That was their advertising, that shingle. Well, a website can be your shingle, but it's so much more than that. It's so many more parts that bring customers back. And I love that you understand their experience with it. If it's not easy to do, most people will just go find somebody else's that is easy.
Yep. Missing out on opportunities, and if it's an experience that's just so off-putting, they'll definitely run off to another website to get what they want. Or if it's just too confusing, or if your message is not clear, or it just doesn't work. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities that will make people go to somewhere else and not actually stay on your site.
Well, and I think it's a big thing to have someone to brainstorm with. You are one of my favorite people when it comes down to really implementing something and getting something done, because you want to talk about it and listen, but you want to get it done. You don't want to really talk about it for weeks and weeks, and then maybe we'll do this, maybe we'll do that. You really are an implementer. That's one thing that you definitely are. And when we brainstorm something, which we have, I feel like it's just incredible, the things that you open my eyes to. I think I'm pretty good at brainstorming, and then you come in and you just blow everything I thought I was good at out of the water, because you bring an entire different perspective from the technology side of how to get it done.
Yeah. I've been in the technology arena for since the 1990s, end of 1990s. So I've been around a lot of different industries and different aspects of being a project of a website. So I have a lot of opportunity that is well rounded. to help you in a variety of ways. So definitely when it comes to brainstorming, because you can't design a website without understanding a person's business, their goals, what they're trying to convey to the users and their experience. So it's something that has to be done before you actually get into a website. Having that strategic planning, that idea of okay, but what do you want the end user to do? Because we can make the site look pretty, but if it doesn't do the job in converting people or getting them to what you want them to do, then your website is just a pretty picture, and that's about it.
I think that's a really important point, because I know initially when I started looking around for people to do my website, they could do it no problem. Everything's fine. And then there was no strategic planning whatsoever. I mean, they were like, what do you want it to look like? Here's some templates. And that was it. I mean, they thought, okay, we can put this together. And it wasn't functional.
Yeah. And they would tell you, I think this is, and I feel like I am very qualified to talk about this with you, because I've had over 100 different web designers that I've worked with, and even app developers, and you're the first out of all of my 51 years that actually listened to what I wanted. They all came into the conversation telling me what I needed to do without even knowing what my goal was, without understanding what I needed in the end result, so that they could make a strategy for me and help me get there. It was just, well, this is what we do, the template thing. This is what we do. You want green or blue? It wasn't actually, to me, that's not web development. That I can get my own template.
Right? You can fill in the blanks if you needed to.
I believe I've done that.
I did that. That's what I did. After the first one didn't work, then I said, okay, I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
And it was a template that I filled in the blanks. And it was, I have to say, it was better than the first one. But it still had a lot that needed to be desired, let me tell you.
Yeah. When you find you're trying to save money in terms of finding a designer or a developer or any of those types of people to help you with your website, and you don't realize that how much you pay for is what you get, but also that what the person really is and how they give you that experience in terms of customer client interaction is also what you get. Because I've heard really a lot of horror stories. Oh my gosh, there was one horror story which I was hoping to interview one of my clients on my own chat page, but her experience with hiring someone on, let's say, a site like Upworks, and all the lady was asking through email was, okay, give me credentials to your site, what you're trying to do. And this person didn't hear what she really needed, and just suddenly started changing things all over her site. And this is a site that was really reputable, and it's a world-changing site that's going to document a lot of great information. But this person just totally ruined her SEO. It was just horrific. So you hear a lot of these bad stories of people hiring on Upworks, or hiring someone who, I do this as a side job, but I really have a full-time job, and they are just left in a lurch, in which their sites are hacked. A lot of times they're hacked. They're kind of half done, not really done. They don't get a call back. They can't even get a hold of them to actually get access to their site. There is a lot of sad things that go on, unfortunately, when you look for someone who's just not really there to do that as their job.
Well, let me just tell you, I firsthand had a beautiful website. The website itself was beautiful, but I hired someone off of one of the sites that you can get someone to work per project.
By project, yeah.
And they did hack my website. They took my website. I've never gotten it back. It was one of those ones that I was more scared of them because of the threats and stuff. And I just thought, I don't even need the name of that. I'm done. I don't even want it, because if they've already damaged so much, and I didn't know it for a little bit. They had a thing where I could see mine and it wasn't mine. And then I found out, there's someone that was way smarter than me that it was that. And so I think it's so important. And I do think that that's one of the I guess this is where I want to tie in like the hope part for this particular subject. When you're a business owner, it gets very not only lonely but very discouraging when you hire someone to do a website and they don't listen, and when you hire someone to help you, do this or do marketing or whatever it is that you're doing. It gets very discouraging when they don't listen to what you want, and when you are not open to what, like, you have to be open to what is suggested if it's really for you. But I've never found until you someone who actually was for me or my business the way that you are. Like, you are invested in your clients to the point that, I mean, I'm proud to work with you. I think that you are going to make stuff for me way simpler, way better, and work effectively just in the short time we've been working on my stuff to clean up messes. So, I mean, I think that that's a big thing to say on this conference. Is that's why I think it's a fitting topic.
Absolutely.
Is that it's discouraging. And I think a lot of businesses, a lot of entrepreneurs, I shouldn't even say businesses, a lot of entrepreneurs quit because of technology and because of things that it gets overwhelming.
Oh, totally. I think there's a lot of times when, as an entrepreneur, you're all excited about your website. You're all excited about, this, what it's going to bring you, and the clients it's going to bring you, or the customers it's going to bring you. And then you get a website that is not even functional, it's, and then you're like, okay, so now you've put all your time, energy, and money into this, and you have something that is not helping you at all.
Yeah. And then you're stuck in the middle again, because now you feel like you've got to keep doing it because you've paid them money, but it's not working. And like, it's a vicious cycle, I think, for most people. And I see Young is on, and she said that she's been there. She's hired someone to do her website and not getting back anything she wanted, even after spending the money. I am not afraid to spend money on my website. I'm not afraid to spend money on the things that I need. What I don't want is I don't want to spend money to throw it away. And I've done that over and over again, thinking, okay, this is as good as it's going to get. They don't listen very well, but hopefully they know what to do. And sadly, that is something that makes people who are entrepreneurial want to stop doing this process and give up. It's really not about their gift, like the thing that they're doing and their amazing sauce that they are. It's because they don't have the support of the techie side. They don't have the support of, if you can only do one of these three things, this is the most important. If you can only do, this much on your marketing, then you should concentrate on this, whatever it is. And I feel like you are such a great asset to the online business world. And I'm going to be honest, and, I shouldn't say this out loud, but I honestly am glad that you are not well known yet, because I got you first. It's like, I don't want to give you up. So I'm just saying. Because your title didn't give me the impression of all that. After working with you, this when I learned all that.
Yeah, and it's surprising how, and I obviously got to get better at my own marketing copy. But because I run up to that a lot, where people are like, "Wow, you do that too," and you do that too. Oh, I wasn't expecting that when you said that you were going to do this email or this landing page. It's like, well, yeah, that's kind of what's necessary for it to operate. It's what I would expect. So, I'm obviously not doing myself justice, but yeah, it's just it's amazing how such a thing that I can help a person out with and get hopefully their dreams out the door, and not get them in that get them out of that hole at the end. Because a lot of times when I hit up with people and I'm like, I wish I met with you earlier, because you could help me earlier, but now I don't have the money because I spent a whole bunch of money on a website earlier and I didn't get anything. And for me, it's like, how could you give someone money if they didn't deliver what you wanted? Because hopefully whoever you work with, you have a contract with them, because if you don't have a contract exactly what is going to be done, then that's not someone you should go with. That's too sketchy, because that legal document of what you both signed to say this is what we are agreeing to do, make sure that you are covered as well as them in terms of that we both come in agreement of what's going to be done, because that to me is unacceptable for anyone to deliver a subpar, not functional site, because that's what you hired them to do. That actually infuriates me when I hear that.
And, I think that that's a pretty great analogy, though, if it's sketchy. If you don't have a contract with them to say what's going to be. I know that the first thing that you did for me, you mapped out line by line what, not in techie speak, so I didn't have a clue, but you mapped out for me what I wanted done and the cost, and I had to approve it. It wasn't like you had just an open ticket that you could just do whatever, because I don't live on a budget anymore, in case you didn't hear the last interview. I live on a strategic plan.
There you go.
But my strategic plan is I want to spend my money where it's the most impactful, so that I'm the most impactful. I want to serve bigger. So that's one of the things about you that I appreciate, that you help me serve bigger, because I'm not having to do stuff that I have to struggle with. My gift is not that. And so I think more than anything on this session, that is one of the things. And I would like to say there are 25 Mary Joes in the world, but I don't know that that's true. I've only found one so far. and so, and this is not a sales pitch. This conference is no selling and no recruiting. It's all about hope. But I asked Mary Jo to come on for more than one reason. I wanted her to be able to help people understand that, that there really is a right process to do this. And it's not them, that they're not stupid. It's just because I don't know how to do this does not make me stupid. It just means I haven't learned how to do that. And I don't want to learn how to do it. I don't want to be a web designer. And if that's not your business, then why are you trying to be a web designer? Why are you trying to do something that's not going to get you to your goal? Kim McGee's on with us. And I look at her and I think she cooks these amazing, plant-based recipes, and I'm transitioning as into more and more plant-based everything, food-wise, and she's helped me a lot because I watch her cook stuff. But imagine if she had to stop doing her cooking show because she had to go work 25 hours on one page of her website. I mean, that's just an example I thought of because she's on with us, but that's not a sexy thing.
Well, and I teach leadership, and one of the things is you find what you're good at, mm-hmm. and you stick with that, and you delegate out the things that you're not good at. I'm like mm-hmm. you. Don't give me numbers, and mm-hmm. don't ask me to. I've been there, done that. Try to do a website. Believe me, it doesn't work. It's not my personality. It's not who I am. I know what I'm good at. Kim knows what she's good at, and Mary Jo takes up the slack of what we don't want to do.
What we're not good at.
Exactly.
I don't do Windows though. No Windows. Sorry.
No Windows. Okay. Windows. Have to find somebody else for that then.
I love it. Well, and I want to say, because again, this is not a selling thing. This is just giving people hope that technology doesn't have to be the thing that costs them their dream. Don't let technology stop you from accomplishing what it is you're dreaming about because of a bad experience. Because that's really where I was not very long ago, was I really didn't want to do one more web designer. I didn't want to do one more techie. I didn't want to do one more because I was sick of paying money and not getting what I was asking for. And then you came into my life and I'm like, tell me where to send the check and let me know when it's done. I mean, that's how I feel about you, because you actually took the time to listen to everything that I needed, everything that I wanted, because I am serving. The Hope to Hope conference is part of what you're fixing for me, because from the very first one, the unofficial one, from that very first conference, I have desired greatly to have a way to promote every speaker that comes on here in a bigger way, because it's no selling and no recruiting and no, anything like that. When you come on to the Hope to Hope conference, up front that that's not it. You have lots of connections, but that's not what it's about. And so I feel like that, honestly, is my responsibility to give back to the speakers and promote them in a bigger way. Well, technology has spanked me, and I've shown Mary Jo the plan from the beginning. The plan from, 5 conferences ago is the same as the plan is now, but now it's actually going to happen. Like, now it's actually possible because, Mary Jo stepped in.
Well, and Mary Jo has proven there is hope when it comes to technology, because I tell you, even the concept of trying to find somebody or I don't even want to go there. I'm so, discouraged. And so finding somebody, that alone, if you're an entrepreneur or you have maybe you're not even an entrepreneur, maybe you're somebody that has some great idea or some service you want to do, or volunteer or something, and you want a page of some kind. Well, everybody's in the same boat. They have to find somebody who's going to do it, or they're going to try to do it themselves. And you just go down this path where sooner or later you're beat up and you don't want to come out the other end.
I think I have a request that I'm going to ask publicly and embarrass you if you say no. How's that for being princess and being bad?
We warned you. We warned you that certain things happen during the Hope to Hope.
Remember, I don't do windows. You can't have that.
I think that if you would put together basically a list of things for people that they need to ask themselves before they talk to someone to build their website. Like, if you could tell them that maybe the top 10 things to ask themselves, like the goal or what something looks like or whatever, would you be willing to put together? And I'm sorry, because I'm really putting you on the spot, but it just came to my mind. Would you put together the top 10 things they need to know before they go to someone to ask them to do any work for them?
Yeah, and that's something that I've been meaning to do, is put it to paper, because I do have a meeting with someone when they hire me to meet with them and understand these things that I need. But I could definitely put it down on paper, because it's been on my list to do, actually.
Oh, well, you just sped up the process then.
Right? Now I got to get it done.
So would you do that? And would you post a link, when you get it done, post a link on this so that they can actually be notified if they want to do that? Because I'm telling you, you have made such a difference in my stress level and in my overwhelm level, because you are there for me. And, I'll tell you, if you don't have a biz bestie, you're crazy, because I have a whole team of biz besties that make me look good. I'm just going to say, this princess looks good because of all of her biz besties. This conference would not have happened without Christy Garcia, without Mary Jo Staebler, without Coni Meyers, without Christy Bridges, and I can keep going. It wouldn't have happened without all the speakers. It wouldn't have happened without, all the people that were the speakers on the last 4 conferences. So to me, having biz besties and having people in your life that are like that is so important to get in those circles. And, I just think that you giving them that kind of a tool would help people. It would have helped me. It would have helped me be able to have conversations with, when I speak princess, I don't speak techie.
Well, I think a lot of times we don't even know how to even think about it.
Mm.
So what are the things we need to think about before we even talk to somebody? I mean, that's actually a really brilliant idea because, what is it that I really want? Because a lot of times until you've talked to some, but if you had a way of going through a questionnaire and saying, oh, I need to think about that, or I need to make a decision about that, that would go a long ways in probably making the conversation a lot simpler for somebody like you.
Yeah. I was just talking to a client. I had a meeting, a potential client this morning, and I asked her, well, what is your goals for your website? And what she was like, well, I like to have it like streamlined design. She went all into the design. I had to go, okay, but think about what is the message you're trying to convey across to the customers you're trying to pick up. What is it that you want this website to do? Because I mean, of course, it should look pretty design and be functional, but there's more to it than that. And that's what I think a lot of people miss out on when they want to do it themselves. They don't realize that your site is more than just a brochure site. It's more than just logging in and buying stuff. There's a lot more to it.
You just hit the nail on the head. It's not about the look. It's about what it functions, the doing part. It's not that just looking at it. It's the doing that we miss. Like if we're not understanding of the whole big picture of it, we want a pretty one. My red lips is my logo, and I want my red lips on there. But if my red lips are just on there like a picture and there's no function to the website, then it's still not any good to me. I mean, it doesn't do anything except give me, like you said, a brochure. And
then there's another aspect to it than that. Then, not only is it what you want to convey to a person, but also what does that person need to hear? What are they looking for you to give to them? What is their expectations? What do they want versus only what you want to give? Because most of the time, what you want to give misses that opportunity of what they want. And so having that intersection between those two worlds is really where you get that sweet spot.
Now, see, anybody that's listening, now you get to know that I'm right about Mary Jo. Because I'm telling you, this is like the conversations. We'll start somewhere and I'll start rattling and she'll like clean up what I said. So you are brilliant, Mary Jo, and I appreciate you more than I can even say. Publicly, I want to say how much I appreciate you because I am on a mission to serve the masses. Like I'm on a mission to serve people. And you are helping me facilitate that by what you are talented and gifted in. So I'm grateful for you and being connected to you.
Yeah, and I am so grateful I've met you. I mean, it's just really almost a few months, right? And it's amazing because, I mean, just meeting you and feeling the hope that you give me, or even just reading, because I, working on the past Hope conferences and getting it ready to be more polished online and supporting those people, going through those videos to, understand where people come from and their stories. I mean, this conference is amazing. I mean, it's a tearjerker. It's something that inspires people. It is something that just gets them into their core and makes them, like, gosh, I want to do stuff. I don't have to be limited by whatever I'm hitting up against right now, either be technology or, a life event or, any other kind of maybe disabilities. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity there. You just got to realize that there is hope, and that's what's so awesome about this conference. I'm getting speechless.
You're gonna make me cry, and I'm not
crying.
I will make my mascara run. Oh my goodness! I know. We're like, thank you.
So I just want to say that I am honored to be on this conference and that you asked me to, because I'm like, wow. I mean, I'm speechless. So, thank you.
Well, you did awesome in explaining things and helping us give hope for technology issues.
All right.
Well, we will be back at 4:30 Central Standard Time. I have to get this all right. 4:30 Central Standard Time with Michael Ottma. That's right, 4:30. He's from Australia, so I don't know if he's getting up or going to bed, or I just know it's way different time than what we are. But
it's tomorrow morning. It's tomorrow morning. Is what it is.
It's funny,
right? Getting into Thursday already.
He's coming on in a little bit, so hopefully he'll be awake.
Awesome. That's not to be missed. That's for sure.
Thank you so much, Mary Jo. Lots
Yes.
of good information.
And we'll get
Thank
a
you, guys.
we'll get a link to you to your page. I know you just started your page, so it looks little. It does not represent you well because you have been doing this for what, 2 decades, longer than 2 decades?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. And you just you have been behind the scenes building big brands instead of building like your own brand. And I'm really proud of you that you've taken time to step back and you know, solve that problem for yourself, even of you are building a brand now for you. And that to me is, I'm just super proud that you're actually living what you're talking about.
Thank you, and I appreciate that because it's been a long time coming, and I'm excited to help the people out and to even get my own way of serving out there in the world because I feel like it's been necessary.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who are you?
I am Coni Meyers, the kick butt leader.
I'm Kim White with the My Sexy Business Team, and we will be back at 4:30 Central Standard Time with Michael Ottma. Thank you, Mary Jo.
Thank you.
Thank you.